Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, I have a ton of great emulation news for you. We're talking about Smash Brothers, Sameboy, Emulicious, Citra, 86box, and Skyline. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about a very popular Smash Brothers mod on N64, Smash Remix. Smash Remix version 1.2 was just released. Now this new version of Smash Remix is actually pretty huge. Version 1.2 brings about some bug fixes, some improvements, some new stages, and a new character. Sheik has now been added to the roster. There's 3 new camera modes, fixed, bonus, and scene. 1-player enemy control mode has been added and 1-player practice mode has been added. As for the stages, they've added in Rainbow Road, Toad's Turnpike, Pokemon Stadium 2, Tall Heights, and a whole bunch more. I'll leave a link to the changelog in the description below and I highly recommend checking it out. And if you do want to see this in action, I'll leave a link to Smash Remix's YouTube video in the description below and I highly recommend checking out this one as well. The video is only 9 minutes and 39 seconds long. And for those who might be a little bit more curious, I'll leave links to the Getting Started guide for Smash Remix as well as the online ROM patcher for Smash Remix, which is really simple and straightforward, in the description below. Feel free to check that out. And speaking about checking things out, next up here, this one is pretty quick. We're talking about Emulicious. For those that are unaware, Emulicious is a multi-system emulator for the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Master System, Game Gear, and MSX. And they're going to have to change this tagline because Emulicious is now compatible with the MSX too. So this new version of Emulicious has some bug fixes, some improvements, and most notably adds in the MSX2 emulation. If you are using Emulicious, you might want to update to this latest version. And if you haven't tried out Emulicious, it's available for a bunch of different systems as long as it supports Java. Because Emulicious uses Java. It's very interesting. And speaking about interesting, next up here, this is a short one as well. We're talking about Sameboy, a Game Boy emulator for Mac and Windows. Version 0.15.4 of Sameboy was just released and we have some improvements here. So in addition to some bug fixes and a minor accuracy improvement, they've also added in some new features, most notably here, in my opinion, a new modern accurate color correction mode. They say this new mode preserves the modern saturation and contrast of modern balanced, but further improves on color balancing accuracy. And interestingly enough, there's major improvements to the performance of the Coco Memory Viewer. Sameboy is free, it's open source, and if you wanted to check out a different Game Boy emulator, give Sameboy a try. Next up here, we're talking about Box86, an IBM PC system emulator. Box86 just got a brand new update here to version 3.7. And there's a very big feature, dual monitors, both color and monochrome. 86box now has support for pairing a CGA, EGA, or VGA color video card with a secondary MDA or Hercules monochrome card. On top of that, they've managed to improve performance here by slowing down hard disks. Interesting as it sounds, it actually works. There's a brand new speed profile option in the settings window. And if you slow down the hard disk just a little bit, it doesn't stress the CPU as much and maybe you get some improvement. And in addition to all of that, they've also added in some new machines here and some new hardware. I'll leave a link to the changelog in the description below because if you're into this stuff, it's a great read. Next up here, we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with Citra, just not the version of Citra that's on the Google Play Store. We're talking about the performance-based as opposed to accuracy-based version of Citra, Citra MMJ, which is available on GitHub. It's free, it's open source, and I'll leave a link in the description below. MMJ stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano. There's a brand new release here for Citra MMJ. You can pick it up and you might actually want to check this one out. There were actually 2 updates to Citra MMJ. The first one fixed separate shaders for Mali, so if you have a Mali GPU, you'll definitely want to update. And the second one here updates the NDK version and some minor fixes. With Citra MMJ, it's usually pretty good to stay on top of your updates as there are a lot of bugs with this app and they're constantly being fixed. Now there are 3 different versions here, the standard version, the scoped storage version, the storage access version, that's if you're on Android 11 or 12, and the Antutu version. If you're experiencing performance issues, check out the Antutu version. You might actually like that one. And on a side note here, I've gone over Antutu in previous videos, but at a high level, basically the Antutu version will trick your phone into thinking it's a benchmarking app. Certain phones, not all of them, will throttle on a normal basis unless it's a benchmarking app. So if the phone thinks the emulator is a benchmarking app, it'll run the emulator at full speed. You might get some performance at the expense of possibly overheating your phone. And speaking about some performance, last up here we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with Skyline. There's a brand new development build not yet available to the public that has some serious improvements. Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition, now boots. It's not fully playable, but it is booting. Or Xenoblade, I guess if you want to pronounce it that way, and this is a really huge milestone. In fact, we're going to be hearing much more about Skyline very shortly as the testers get their hands on things. We can see now Ragi and Ancient Epic is booting. Sonic Force's cutscenes are looking amazing. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about today in the comments below, and we did talk about quite a bit. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos, don't tempt fate, save your state.